Welcome to Obsession Engineering and a surprisingly sunny and warm Cadwell Park. We're here for the North Gloucester Road Racing Club meeting. It is the middle of July and we're going to go racing because racing is awesome. After TT, what I wanted was, just a bit of fun on my motorbikes and a chance to get me pace back up a little bit. So we're just going to crack on and have some fun. Right, Martin is here as well, and there is an ulterior motive for this race meeting. Because Martin this year is making his newcomer debut at the Manx Grand Prix, and he's going to be riding my little Super Twin, which is really, really cool. So he gets to ride something modern and good, and I've already ridden it there and it works and it'll be ace. So Martin's actually going to be racing that bike today and tomorrow, and it's his first time on it. He hasn't even sat on it yet, to be fair. Right, I'm going to be riding my BM because I've got a load of tyres for it from TT. So I am here on scrub, so I'm not expecting lap records, but I'm going to chip away at my lap time, see if I can go a little bit better. Martin's going to be riding his twin and his 600, and at some point during the weekend I'm even going to make him clean his 600, because he's a scruffy bugger. You'll have to excuse the noise of the generator that's out there. I need a better microphone. Right, since TT, the only things I've really done, I say only things, is I've fixed the very slight misfire we had by putting some new spark plugs in. It was that simple. Sometimes the simple solutions are the best. I've also altered the fork internal spacing. Basically, there's an adapter at the bottom of the fork leg, at the bottom of the cartridge, and I've made a slightly shorter version because I always ran this like the front of the bike as low as I could on the option you have on here. You've only really got 8mm of adjustment, and I always ran it as low as it went, and I wanted the option to be able to go lower with the front of the bike, so I shortened the adapters in the bottom. We're now set at the same height, but we now have more adjustment going that way, and if I do want to go back up I can put the old adjusters in. So that's a little change I did. And then yesterday I did a little bit of testing on the bike yesterday to make sure it was alright before Martin rides it. We're on a slightly stiffer spring that we started running at TT, and I was playing with rear ride height yesterday, and I've got a setting that I think is tip top. I did my fastest ever twin lap round here yesterday at 41.4. It's not setting the world on fire, but it's as quick as I've gone, and it felt like there was spare time everywhere. It was calm and controlled, and I just know I could go quicker, especially if there was a race. So I'm not going to go quick on it, but hopefully Martin will, and then he can be smug and gloat and I can get annoyed with him and take his bike off him. The BMW is sort of in its standard short circuit trim. I put the small screen, the normal size tank on it, and put it back to sort of normal wheelbase and spring rates and stuff. I did a couple of sessions on that yesterday. I was a little bit steady on it, but it's a bit of adaptation. So today the plan with that is to just chip away at my lap times and see if I can get somewhere near what I know I can do. Martin is also riding his 600. The advantage of bringing two bikes with you, or having bikes like the BM that are eligible for two different classes, is that the second class is only half price basically on your entry fee. So you can double up your racing and make your racing better value by spending a little bit more money. So I'm out in Power Bike and Open. Martin is out on the 600 on that, on the Super Twin on that. But with NG they're really good because almost any bike you turn up with, there is actually two classes you can ride in, because that could go in Sound of Thunder, but you'd be racing against Panigales and stuff, so it'd be a little bit outgunned. So, right, we are about set. Next thing we're going to do is shove a camera in Martin's face and make him really uncomfortable. Martin Morris, the man most uncomfortable in front of a camera you will ever find. But I'm going to make him famous one day, whether he likes it or not. So then, Martin, Manx Grand Prix entry confirmed. You've been over the newcomer weekend. Are you ready?
Hopefully. I think I know my way around enough to get out there and start learning it on an actual bike on race lines.
Excellent. Are you looking forward to your first time on the twin today?
I am actually, yeah. I never ridden a 600, and then as soon as I got on a 600 I absolutely loved it, so hopefully dropping down onto a little twin I'll like it just as much.
Right, who is your TT Manx Grand Prix hero?
I mean, Dave never did the Manx, so can't really say him. So I think Rog Wibberley.
You're fired. So before Martin goes out, we've obviously got him sat on the bike, and what we're going to do is set up levers and stuff, so make sure his brake lever is about where he wants it, gear lever and rear brake, although he doesn't use the rear brake, make sure the gear lever is where he wants it, make sure he's sort of at least fitting on the bike. There is some adjustments we can make. He's making the first one himself, and then I'm just going to give him a run through of how to use certain things, you know, how to use the start-stop button, how to use the lap timer, that sort of thing, and then he'll be set for his first session in about 40 minutes. Another nice thing with coming racing with NG is they've run a proper class for 250 GP bikes, and this one is lovely. How you doing?
Morning, Dave. You well, mate?
Not bad, not bad. Are you ready for your slightly delayed first session of the day?
Well, I was first out then, so I didn't see what happened, but yeah, looks like someone just high-sided at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Easy done though.
I suppose so, but I think it's a diesel though. I think it's one of these diesels, that's why there's so much oil and stuff.
I think they call them 4-strokes.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Too much torque, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
So far you've managed to get one lap, and then there was a red flag because somebody's fallen off riding out the holding area. Did it feel alright?
I did one corner at pace and the red flag came straight out.
So hard to tell then.
Oh no, it's mint. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
That's what you meant to say. Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking to the script. Now that is a pair of leathers from the 90s. A pair of Fieldshare wiggly worms. Look at those bad boys. I remember when Carl Fogarty raced in those. Right, so after Martin's one lap so far of practice before somebody fell off coming out of the holding area, the one thing he's found is the lever's quite a long way out for him because he has little ladies' hands. So what we've done is there's an adjuster there, but there's actually a second adjuster sort of in here, if we can see that one, and I've wound that one in, and so that is as far in as you can get the lever, and it's still quite a long way out, and the brakes on this do not fade. So we might end up changing the mass cylinder purely so we can have a different lever on that, but that is the mod so far. Really what we need now is more track time. Right, so we're halfway through the sort of warm-up sessions. I've been out on the BM. It is behaving perfectly. I'm not going fast enough on it, but that's all right. There is time to go faster on that. Martin has gone out on the twin, and I think mostly enjoyed it, but obviously when I came back he was reeling off his list of things he didn't like so much. So what we've done is, we go down here, at TT I filed some of the edges off these rear set spikes because these are really, really grippy. So I took some of the really sharp edges off to move a bit easier, and now I filed a bit more off so they're a little bit smoother, so hopefully he can move his foot easier, because it turns out he was trying to sort of slide his foot across the foot bag and he can't because they're so grippy. So I filed that a little bit. I've taken off my chin donut. Now I put that on at TT to stop my chin rattling on the tank, but Martin doesn't like it because when he's flat on the tank it lifts his chin up too far and he finds it uncomfortable, so I've taken it off. But I stuck it on that while I can't get the bottom bit off. So that's a trick for another day. Martin has put some steering damper on it because I was running it yesterday with it wound all the way off, and I must be a little bit smoother over the mountain because it never got in a wiggle with me, but it does with Martin. And he complained the brakes were too sharp, which is interesting because we've got the Brembo HPK race discs on it, but we're on the standard original front brake pad still, and the original calipers and mass cylinder. I think what's really happening is he's hitting the brakes as if he was on a big bike, or even on the 600, and he's going that bit slower and the bike weighs that bit less, that it feels like he's grabbing too much brake. So I think he just needs to smooth that out a little bit. But, you know, the more laps he does, the better it'll get for him. So he's done that. He is currently out on his 600, which means he doesn't have to be on camera for this bit, which will suit him down to the ground. So I've just done first of my 2 quali sessions on the big bike. That was for the open race, so we got a few like junior super stock 600s and a couple of super sport bikes out there as well. And I got out relatively early in the group and it was alright, I just chipped away. There's a bit of cement dust going into Hall Bend, so I'm a little bit tentative over there, a bit probably too slow over it. But no, I was alright, chipped away a little bit, before I went out, I thought if I can drop into the 37s, then at least we're going in the right direction, and it was a late 37, so there is more to come. But no, that was alright. We've got quite a while, probably best part of an hour before I've got my second quali, so might at least take my boots off, because my feet are swimming in sweat, which is lovely. Here comes Martin. Right, I can see him into the bottom of the mountain. Let's see what he looks like over the top. Welly wheelies. Right, just done the second quali session. Consistently better than the first session. A little bit of tyre pressure out the back helped it hook up a bit more, get me a bit more feel for it. Yeah, definitely better. 37.1, so still 4 seconds off what I've done round here before, and that was a while ago, and it's not even that quick. So yeah, there's a bit to go yet. We're just chipping away, building my confidence back into it, and actually quite enjoying being out on the bike. There's no pressure, I can just go and enjoy myself, which is pretty cool. Right, Martin has been out for quali on the twin, but I haven't seen him since because I've been out sweating on the big bike. How'd you get on, Martin?
I don't think we should tell you, Dave.
I'm assuming by that you've gone quicker than me.
Pole in the Super Twin.
Excellent stuff.
Pole overall.
Excellent.
38.6.
Ah, mega boy, mega. See, I've built a brilliant bike.
Indeed.
If you don't get your first ever trophy today, there is something very, very wrong. So this is what we like about going club racing, is we're down there trying to go fast. That sounded wrong straight away. Mark is here with the family, so it's Mark, Bex, Jesse, Harrison, and this is it, just having a nice time in the sun.
Yeah, having a great time racing motorbikes. I've just managed to get into the 39, so I'm over the moon, and looking forward to my first race and beating Dave.
Right, moving on. So, Harrison,
Yeah,
do you want to be a motorbike racer when you're older?
yeah, I've already started on my,
Have you?
Yeah, on my mini O'Barley.
Cool. Are you fast?
Yes.
Yes. I'm okay, yeah.
Excellent. That means you're already faster than your dad, you're just not allowed to say it. Right, Jesse, who has actually made me this really cool vlogger's blazer this morning, which is colour matched my bikes and everything. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Do you want to race motorbikes?
No, but I might want to be a marshal.
Oh right, yeah, that's cool. We always need the orange army, otherwise we can't go racing. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you enjoy coming racing with your dad?
Yes.
Is it nice fun? You got mates in the paddock?
Yeah.
It's just nice. It's just a nice time.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So, and Bex, you have the nerves of Mark going racing,
Oh yeah,
and now the kids want to do it too.
absolutely. Yeah, not a lot I can do about it really, but
Enjoy it.
yes, yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Right. Good luck for later. Mark is on a ZX10, so he's out with me, and if he beats me, we're going to edit all of this out. Right, so it is probably about 10-15 minutes before my first race. The race before me has gone to the holding area, so it's not too long. So I've put my kit back on, just trying to prepare myself. So I'm going to chill out a bit in a minute, do some stretches, just need to chip a bit more time away. I do actually know where I'm slow, and I know you're going to say everywhere, and you'll be right, but there are certain places, like for example the turning at Coppice. I'm not running enough speed through Coppice because my turning isn't accurate enough, isn't aggressive enough, so I need to make my counter steer bigger into Coppice, and then I need to run a little bit, make it further left so I can get a better line through Charlie's one, and I can do that with the whole circuit sort of thing. Of course, it's easy to stand here and say it, going out and doing it is a different thing, but bit by bit we'll chip away. 18th on the grid for the open race, and my start wasn't bad, but it was certainly better than somebody's. Easiest over overtake of the weekend, dispatch a 600 using a 200 horsepower superbike. Easy! Not sure the leg dangle into park is really necessary when you're braking relatively early. It was turning into a slightly lonely race until I got overtaken by the man with a terrible start. Passing on a yellow was one thing, but he did look fast and I was slightly jealous. But then I realised he was trying very, very hard and using a little bit more track than I was willing to use. And a lap later, he broke down anyway, so it didn't really matter. End of the race, and it's fair to say I was warm, but I had fun. Right, first race done. It is warm today, and I'm a little bit sweaty, but that was actually quite good fun. Not a bad start, fairly average start, but then somebody in the row in front completely got it wrong and just nearly stalled it. I'm surprised I didn't get collected. So I managed to pick up a couple of positions, I think. Yeah, not bad, just I wasn't particularly aggressive the first 2 laps, then just tried to sort of chip it away on my lap times and got a little bit quicker, but yeah, there's not a lot of rear grip, but that could be because it's getting really hot, or it could be the fact that that tyre's done quite a lot.
Attention paddock, just to remind everybody the use of the push.
Right, the longest paddock announcement in the world there for don't use your push bike. So yeah, it wasn't a bad race, just, yeah, I know I can go quicker, but I'm not chucking tyres in it when I know the time has to come from me. So yeah, chipping away a little bit better. Now just wait for Martin to go out and do some winning. We're getting late in the afternoon now. The Bandit Challenge thing is on track at the moment. Then Martin is next race out and he is pole position. So there is absolutely no pressure, but if he doesn't win, we're going to take the mickey out of him. So I didn't go and watch, and I've looked on the live timing, and Martin at the end of the first lap is 19th. So not only has I think missed the warm-up lap, they've made him start from the back of the grid. So the first time he's ever been pole, and he's basically buggered the job up because we didn't get a third call, so we were late sending him down. In my defence, I did ask him, do you want to go now? Because everybody else is down there. Bugger. Well, we thought we'd see cheerful Martin. We're not going to see cheerful Martin. Arse. Having missed the warm-up lap, Martin also missed his chance to do a practice start, so his first ever launch on the Aprilia was at the start of the race. And it wasn't the best. Once he got going though, he got some excellent overtaking in. It must have been quite an exciting race, if a little bit frustrating. With Martin in on the Super Twin, it was my turn to go out on the power bike, and my start was rubbish. And my first corners weren't really aggressive enough either, and I ended up sat behind Chris Pope for pretty much the entire race. I did finally make my way past him, and then I thought, right, I'm going to crack on for the last lap and really push. And I turned it into the first corner, rattled it across the curbs, and a little bit of poo came out. And so I rolled it off a little bit for the rest of the lap, went sensible, and came back in a bit disappointed in myself. Start one brilliant. I've finally developed the BMW famous grabby clutch system. I have been told a couple of mods I can do for that, so they'll be getting done, but not today. It's the first race that I didn't go any quicker than previous. I was only 0.1 off, and I can claim there's no grip because my tyre's done, but yeah, it's not really the tyre that's the problem, it's Rider needs to go faster. Bit of a disappointing end to today, but we've got another go tomorrow. 2 more goes tomorrow. 2 races on everything. So Martin's got 2 on the twin, 2 on the 6, and I've got 4 on the BM. Haven't decided yet. Might put a different tyre in. It may not be any better, but it'll be different. Anyway, that's enough for Saturday. I need a shower. Considering this tyre has done 4 laps around the Isle of Man, 2 sessions yesterday, 2 qualifying, a free practice, 2 qualies, and 2 races today. I mean, it's wearing fine. Unfortunately, just being a hard compound one, it just doesn't generate that much grip. And realistically, where you've got like this bit here, like this feathering really from about there, which sort of indicates spin, that really should be sort of, well, it should be right from the edge. Franco does it right from the edge. I clearly don't. So what we've learned from that is I need to get on the throttle earlier on the side of the tyre. Basically, I need to commit more at lean angle, and then pull my finger out a little bit, basically. Some man-up pills may be required. It's Sunday morning at a warm and sunny Cadwell Park. In about half an hour we've got warm-up, so I'm out on the big bike and Martin's going out on the twin just for more laps. After a slightly disappointing enter yesterday and a disappointing pizza from Louth, today we're trying to make things better. We're going to try and be positive. So the positive from yesterday is that Martin got the new club lap record on the twin. He just needs to pull his finger out and overtake a few people to get a trophy.
With warm-up done, it's into the racing. I've got a fresh rear tyre in, and during this race I do my fastest lap so far of the weekend at a 1:36.2, which isn't too bad, even though it's still 3 seconds off my PB. But watching the video back, I realise that I'm looking a little bit stiff on the bike. My bottom half moves alright, but my top half really isn't moving enough. I may need to take up yoga. It's also really getting warm.
That was very warm. But that's the first one of the day. It's getting hotter. I need a drink. That's for sure. I'm going to take my leathers off for a bit. Right, so Martin's been out on his 600 and done a personal best at a 35.4, but I refuse to put a camera on it until he cleans it. He's then out on the Super Twin in a minute. There's been a couple of races in between for him to recover. He's out on the Super Twin, and that unfortunately is right before my power bike race, so I can't really go and watch that because I'm going to be busy. I need to sort of do a bit of prep, but I can watch it later on the camera that's stuck down there. So that's it. He is flying today.
Martin was back out for the first Super Twin race of the day, and his start was shockingly bad. He's obviously been watching too many Maverick Vinales videos. He soon got his head down though, picking people off and hitting really good lap times. And before you know it, he was up into the podium positions on the twin. Out on circuit, Martin's transponder was playing up, so in the paddock on the live timing it looked like he'd either crashed it or blown it up. Luckily, he didn't do either of these things and finished it off for his first ever podium position. Not quite knowing whether Martin had crashed or blown up the twin or whether it was the actual transponder fault, I went out on the BM for my next race. And before long, I was basically riding around on my own, which normally I would like, but sometimes it's just nice to have that rabbit to chase. And in the heat, I will admit, I was beginning to find it slightly hard work.
That was hard work. And it was hard work to go a bit slow. 37.1, so slower than I went earlier. Has got hot. And after the first lap I didn't really have anybody to chase. Got a little bit... Normally I like being on my own on clear track, but sometimes it's nice to have that rabbit to chase, so... Yeah, it's hard work in the hot, in the heat. Yeah, not very pleased with that. Putting the ride out in... just lost weight, it's lost it a little bit of rear grip. and or it could be the temperature. And it turns nice through the chicanes and stuff, but it's lost a bit of like mid-corner stability. So what I'm actually going to do is leave the ride height in and take a little bit of preload out the rear. Then when I hit the brakes it'll be better, but it'll actually end up sitting in a similar position mid-corner. Yeah, that should give it better brake stability but keep some of the steering, hopefully. One way to find out, isn't it? Let's try it. But I'm hot now. Oh, I need to take my leathers off because I'm roasting. Right then, I have cooled down quite a lot since my last escapade. It's not been that long because we've had a very short lunch break and only a couple of races and I'm back out next. I have just done a tarmac temperature reading and it was 51.7 degrees, which if you are in Imperial is roasty toasty. So yeah, that's why it feels so hot out there. I'm not sure last night's dinner pizza from Louth really helped because I've had to make big toilet 4 times now today and that's not usual. So yeah, enjoy that thought. Sweaty man with bad bowels. Right, I've drunk a lot of water because that seems to be settling better than drinking energy drink stuff. And I mean a lot of water. I've probably drunk 2 litres since I last went out. Yeah, a few minutes to go. It's hot. But I like riding around on my motorbike, so I'm just going to go ride around. Oh, and Martin went to collect his trophy and didn't actually want his trophy because he considered himself 6th, not 2nd, because he was pole, so he should be faster than everybody in the race. So he's the first man I've ever known who gets his first ever club racing trophy. Didn't really want it. Can't please some people.
Heading out for my 3rd race of the day, thoroughly hydrated, I decided I was going to ignore the lap timer and just go and race as fast as I could and enjoy myself. And you know what? It did help. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. Though, now I want to know how fast I went.
It pains me to say this, but I enjoyed that because I took a leaf out of Martin's book. That's a terrible, terrible thing for me to have to admit. I didn't bother using my lap timer, so I just went out and rode, you know, as fast as I could. I have no idea whether it was fast or not, but you don't have that instant disappointment of the lap timer, and I think it helped. Just sort of helped me get focused on the race. So yeah, if it helped, then obviously it was my sensible decision. If it didn't help, it's Martin's fault. Right, so I'm in the back of the van. It is not cool in here, it's just relatively quiet and I'm putting my kit on. Martin's out on track at the moment, but I'm hoping it's his transponder not picking up again because he's at the bottom of the timing thing with no time, so hopefully he's not done anything silly. I'm out in a minute. I have drunk a lot of water. I'm going to have one little glucose gel thingy that Martin gave me because that doesn't seem to disagree with too much. And then I'm just going to go out, ignore the lap timer again, have fun riding around with my motorbike, and everything will be good. The last race, a few minutes before, I even toyed with not going out because the previous one I hadn't really enjoyed it. It felt like hard work, and then I realised only quitters quit, and I don't want to be one of those people. So I went out and actually really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go out in the next one. Same thing again, just go out and try and enjoy my racing.
Meanwhile, out on track, we're on board with Dave Carson, following Martin on our RS660. It's the last race of the weekend and he doesn't want to do anything daft, so he decides not to go underneath somebody into the hairpin. Unfortunately, they had to hit the brakes to avoid somebody else, and Martin didn't have anywhere to go. Dave Carson didn't have anywhere to go and even clipped the bottom of the bike. Luckily, he stayed on, but it's only Martin who's feeling down in the dumps. My last race of the weekend was luckily pretty uneventful and very, very hot. To be honest, I got my head down for a couple of laps got past somebody, and then pretty much just tried to chill out for the rest of the race.
Alright, so we've got the bike back and there's nothing major done at all. Luckily not marked the TT tank, because that would have been very disappointing. And it's nothing major, just a little bit of fairing damage. We had to take the belly pad off because it just bent the bracket, so it was touching the front wheel. So most of the fairings will actually fix. And then it's just the usual sticky out bits, foot peg, lever, bit of a dent on there. But luckily I have a man who will fix that using genuine bits, or in fact he can normally straighten them. So we'll get the exhaust pipe fixed, we'll get the fairing fixed. We've already got the spares for levers and stuff. And of course Martin didn't actually like that brake lever, so he's supplied a Brembo to go on it to replace that anyway. So actually, not that bad. I think the biggest damage is Martin's just miserable now. It means I don't have to make him miserable. But one of those things, we're racing motorbikes, it's not tiddlywinks. At least he's alright. So that is weekend finish, the van is loaded, I feel absolutely shattered. And obviously not the end to the weekend that we wanted. My own riding, I was actually until the last race, I was quite consistent, even though the conditions of the track were probably getting worse with the temperature. And it was good for me to get out and ride around, and some of it I actually enjoyed. The positives of this is Martin was comfortable on the twin straight away, he just gelled with it, he was fast, so it proves that firstly, I've built a really good bike, secondly, he will be good on it at the Manx Grand Prix, and obviously a bit disappointing for him that he had that little incident at the end. There's no real harm done, he has got full grumpy face, so I definitely didn't want to stick a camera in his face because he doesn't like it at the best of times. I have not chastised him for it because this is racing and these things happen. We will put everything back together, we'll get him back out on it to do a bit of testing to make sure everything's alright and give him a bit more seat time. But not today. Now I'm going to get in the van, go home, order myself a filthy Chinese takeaway and sit down with some cold cider and chill a bit. So thank you for watching, and join me again next time for some more motorbike fun.